That dude fixing the coffee, he's got some hair.
I'm like, oh, God.
Like, where's this going, man?
That's great. That's the perfect opening to a podcast ever.
Right? Our coffee machine is broken today, and that's hell.
Oh, yeah. I'm drinking a Rockstar, and I've literally not had a Rockstar, well, in like 3 weeks since I went to a friend's house, and they were like, bring some mixers. And I'm like, oh, bring a Rockstar, because that's good practice.
There's a joke there.
There is a joke there. I'm drinking a Monster Energy Zero Ultra, which has a far cooler looking can than you.
Yeah, mine's like
a tribal tattoo on a can.
Mine's like if a wrestler designed a freaking energy drink can.
Yeah,
Monster definitely wins with the marketing, but man, that drink tastes like poo-poo.
Yeah.
What,
I prefer
Monster.
Yeah. Oh, they all taste like garbage.
I like Rockstar. I like this drink, but in the Rockstar better. It also has more caffeine. Anyway,
because that's what we need is more freaking caffeine.
If I'm going to drink an energy drink, yes, that's what I want. More caffeine.
I get the coffee ones.
Yeah, those are pretty good.
Well, about a third of the way through this podcast, it's going to sound like you sped it up on your end, but you really didn't. My Rockstar just kicked in. What?
See, this should just give me a nice, like, even energy throughout our podcast and just drop me off.
Well, speaking of podcasts, let's get into it.
Oh, yes.
Welcome to the Byte Me Podcast, episode 85, where we talk about games and news and questions from people who listen to us.
We love those people.
We don't know why they listen, but they do.
They're good people.
Yeah. My name is Adam West.
I'm Cliff Johnson.
The Dylan.
If you thought you heard a sneeze, you actually heard somebody say, the Dylan.
Close enough.
Yeah. All right.
Gesundheit.
You're welcome. Is that right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We've got some news to talk about this week. Halo, where has it been? Well, it's evidently been working on getting a TV series. We'll talk about that. Mm-hmm. Fallout 76 has fast travel, some more info about PvP. Fortnite is cracking. I saw that. It's kind of cool. Overwatch has a new hero, and OMG, is he adorable?
I wrote that in Adam's voice.
Yeah.
It worked great.
Totally. Are you waiting to buy a video card? Wait a little longer.
I don't know whose voice I wrote that in.
That's fine.
Like a bad as seen on TV. Yeah.
And then Google is reportedly making its own game console, which I find very interesting.
Me too.
Mm-hmm. Questions from Vinny, Colby, Jacob, Joe Coleslaw, Josh, Jjames. There's a lot of J's.
Good Lord, yeah.
What the heck?
Yeah.
And Mansocks, plus some cheap free games.
And Mansocks.
Cheap free games and Troll Corner, our favorite Japanese.
Our favorite section devoted to Sony.
I literally, I'm going to put Sony in there every week.
Should we call it Troll Corner anymore then, or should we just call it?
It might turn into Sony Corner.
Troll Corner featuring Sony.
Right?
Or like we'll start playing games with Sonys.
I think it's a good idea.
Well, I just got an
there'll be
email.
people in online forums Sonying.
I love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Sony will live under the bridge.
Oh, wow. All right.
Wait, what are the odds that you and I are both playing the same 3-year-old game?
Right? Is it 3 or is it only 3?
Yeah,
it's
2015.
Yeah.
All right, let's start with what we're playing since we're both playing the same thing. Let's do it. Fallout 4.
We're really good at that.
Yeah, that's really good. We didn't have to count down or anything.
No.
So yeah, I'm still playing through it. I'm really enjoying it. I actually made it to Diamond City, which is the first place you really need to get to.
Yeah, I finished it yesterday.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Is it a spoiler if you tell me if his kid's still alive?
No.
He's not alive?
He is still alive.
How? What? Okay. That was my mind being blown.
Yeah. What are you? So you're enjoying your time
alive?
with it?
Yeah.
No, that's Portal.
What?
Yes, he is still alive.
Wouldn't it be silly if he was dead?
It would
You
be.
couldn't
You just
be
get there, he's just
dead.
dead.
The game wouldn't exist because you'd be searching for something that's not
What if
there.
it was that whole
makes for
thing
a
where it's
bad.
like-
That makes for a bad story.
I could see how I
Would
like.
that be a MacGuffin?
That's like if Rambo actually killed himself at the end of First Blood.
In the book, he does.
I know that was how the movie originally ended, and they changed it because it's terrible and it just ruins the movie.
Yeah, and thank God it left us open for those other 2 fantastic sequels.
Right, the
3
pinnacle of
fantastic
filmmaking,
sequels. Yeah.
right there.
First one's a good movie. Those 2 are fun
great.
movies.
I don't think I've seen them since the 80s.
You've seen the original one, though, right?
Like in the 80s.
Oh, it's such a good movie.
I
It's
didn't
probably
see it.
I didn't
that
watch
is
it in
probably
the
the
80s.
best anti-war movie ever made.
Wow.
It's amazingly good.
The other ones are good action movies, but
agreed.
I'll have to go back and maybe waste time watching those.
Yeah.
no, Adrian.
So you're enjoying Fallout 4 so far?
Yes, I am enjoying it. I like it. It's interesting with the 4K up res and blah, blah, blah.
Pretty good.
It looks great, but some of the facial animations
are awful.
I'm like, wow, that's just rough.
I came back into it and like I don't know if I really enjoyed the end of it. It's not the ending. Like the ending's okay, I guess. It's not good. It's not bad. Like I think it might have been better if the kid had been dead, actually.
Or like you find him and then he gets blown
or something.
Up,
like I think there are better ways that it could have ended.
Or he like turns and is a leader of an evil baby army.
Ooh, I like that.
I don't know. Like,
yeah.
How many hours did you put into it to get to
Probably. So here's the deal. My brother actually. So normally when you're like the best man at a wedding.
This took a weird twist.
Usually you get like a watch or a like some fancy schmancy
watch.
Here I got you to the end.
Or a baboon.
He got me Fallout 4.
Oh, okay.
Which is the best gift you can give any. Like if you're having a wedding and like you're looking for someone to get your groomsmen, think about a Fallout game. It's the best choice.
Okay.
Because
in some cases the game would last longer than the marriage.
Exactly, right? And so I played like 35 hours of it right then, like just bam, and then got distracted by something else.
Shiny.
Yeah, and so it was on my list, and so I went back to finish it because I'm trying to, like, I looked at my list and I'm like, of these 40 games that I really want to play, like 8 or 9 of them I'm actively playing.
And so I have been for years.
And have been, some of them for years, some of them for days. And so I wanted to like lower that thing. And Fallout's a good one to knock on my list because it's a long one.
Right.
So I'm like, I'll just go back in and play it. And I got back in and I'm like, oh, I'm like 85% of the way done with the main quest.
Nice.
And so I got pretty far in the main quest and then I just started doing side quests. And I don't know if I got bored or just another game came out, whatever. And so for me to finish it only took maybe another 4 hours. So probably 42 hours
that's
total.
A lot of time.
Yeah, but you could probably finish the main quest line if you just powered through it in like 20, 25. So
the one thing that I still don't like about it is like, and I guess that's why I got turned off to first-person shooters in general, because Fallout 3 and Fallout 4, just, I don't know, the gunplay, it just feels a little unwieldy and not...
So
unless you use the VAT system, like, all the time.
But I think that's on purpose, actually.
Okay.
Because the idea is that the VAT, your open shooting a gun shouldn't be more accurate than the VAT system is. And so if you go to shoot VATs and VAT says, hey, you only have a 50% chance of hitting that target, you pointing the gun at it and pulling the trigger should probably also only have a 50% chance of hitting him.
True.
Which is why the guns feel so terrible.
Well, and another thing too, like I've noticed when I'm using the VAT system, like I could be right up on an enemy, literally right there, and pull the VATs up and a 95% chance of hitting them in the head.
Yep.
Fire off, click, 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 4 rounds, ready to go.
That's how RNG works, man.
But it never...
That 5% chance, man, could miss every single time.
I know.
It sucks.
I have.
Yeah.
It's not, I'm like, but...
I never miss.
So the best story I will tell you about, like, VATs in general is, so I started playing this game and like I'm pretty far into it, so the enemies are hard because I haven't played for so long. Like a lot of my enemies have respawned. Things that I've cleared have like, if you after a certain amount of time, things you clear will unclear, and so it just gets hard. And I got real sick of it real fast of dying. So now that Fallout 4 supports mods, I just went and grabbed a mod that gives me all the different cheat codes I wanted. So I turned on God mode, I turned on unlimited ammo, I turned on all these different things. I'm like, I just want to beat this game. I want to see the ending. I don't care how I get there. Which gives me access to mini nukes. And mini nukes are awesome. They look like these just little teeny fat boy bombs, and you get this big rocket launcher to shoot them with. And so I'm in this pretty enclosed building, and I use VATs to target a guy, and it's like you've got like a 55% chance hitting. I'm like, who cares? Like it's a mini nuke. It literally like
will wipe everything out in an
blows
area.
up all the way across the screen, and then like sucks back in. There's a mushroom cloud. I'm like, it'll get him. It didn't get him. I'm like, well, that's
a lucky.
That's dumb.
And that's where RNG is dumb.
Yeah. So anyway, there's no splash damage on mini nukes. I don't know why. There is on their missile launcher. So whatever.
But yeah, so I'm playing that and I'm enjoying it. It's fine. I just haven't had a whole lot of time to play any games.
Does the button layout drive you nuts? Like having, oh man, I could not get used to how the buttons in that work. Like I wanted B to do something different than pull up VATs. I wanted select to do something different than pull up whatever it pulls out. Ugh.
Yeah, no, I was like, oh, that's where the buttons are.
I had a really, and maybe it's
adapted.
because you did it from the first and like kind of led you into that. Coming
I
back
played
to
it
that
on
game.
Originally, I played it on the PS4.
Yeah, getting back to the game was really hard. I did not, I don't want to say I didn't enjoy my last like 5 hours of that game, but
It was a struggle.
it was a push to get through because I wanted to beat it.
Gotcha.
So, whatever.
So aside from that, I'm not playing anything, but you're playing what?
Yeah, I'm playing. Colby and my brother, started playing Payday 2 this weekend. It's in. I don't know if it's in Games with Gold or if it's like when we picked up on a. Sorry, I don't know if it's in Game Pass or if it was a Games with Gold game, but either way, we both own it.
Oh, okay.
I think it's in Game Pass.
It could be in
Yeah,
Game
I'm
Pass.
pretty sure it is.
Have you guys ever played the Payday games?
Love
No.
it.
You do love it?
them.
And so.
I just never had anyone to play them with, and they're not really.
Yeah,
meant
you have
for-
to play a multiplayer. So at least Payday 2. I can't speak for Payday
And that's
1.
what came out on the Switch too.
Oh,
is,
yeah, it
yeah.
did. Yeah, I
It
forgot
came
about
out on
that.
the Switch.
Yeah, you go in and essentially it says, okay, you need to rob this. The one we were doing was rob this car dealership. And so that involves you breaking into the car dealership, finding the manager, getting his key card.
Did you get a manager haircut? Did you get an I speak to the manager haircut, please?
Exactly, yes.
Haircut to do that? That'd be awesome.
Of course I did. And, getting his key card and then hacking a computer that has the code to the closet where they lock the keys in, and then getting a key and stealing a car and driving a car to a cargo container. And the way this game works for us is, okay, so there's 10 steps you have to do to steal this car. First attempt, we figured out 1 and 2 and then died, or, like the cops got there or whatever. Second attempt, we got 1, 2, and 3. Third attempt, we got 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Oh, you have to go all.
Fifth attempt, we did 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then like
Eventually.
our 10th attempt, we're like, all right, we got it there. We got the cars in the thing. Time's running out. Sweet. We got the cars in the containers. We're good to go. Time's up. Wait, we got we have to get out of the car in order. Wow, son of a. Mm-hmm. So anyway, the game's fun. We need more humans to play it with us.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
But it's enjoyable. It's just hard. It's really hard.
It's a really neat game, though. Like
The mechanics are cool.
It's different than anything you've probably ever played, unless you've played it.
Because you can't just kill people. Well, I mean, you can.
You can. You can
But
go in
then you have to
guns
hide their
blazing, but then
bodies.
it's-
And
God.
or then you just have to kill a lot more people. Because then they're going to come after you for killing people.
But like this one where we actually did a bank robbery one where like literally there were just piles of cops. It was not great.
Ugh.
So anyway, it's fun. It's a game you need. I would say it's up to 4 players, and probably the closer you can get to 4 players, the better off you are. So I'm going to play it again tomorrow probably, actually, because we have the day off. Woo.
Ooh, yay, good to know. Dylan, what are you playing?
Well, I went to Spokane this weekend and played in Hoop Fest.
He played basketball.
I played basketball, but that gave me some valuable time in the hotel with my Nintendo Switch. And I was like, oh, I have SteamWorld Heist on here. So I booted that up, and I played it. It was fun. I haven't played in a while. It's a good time.
SteamWorld Ice is a game, if you have a PC, that you can pick up for super, super, super cheap, like all the time.
Yeah,
$5.
And I'm pretty sure it was in a Twitch game thing.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. No, that was SteamWorld Dig 2.
But I think
it.
It might
SteamWorld
have
Dig
been
has
too,
been
Yeah.
free too, or SteamWorld Heist, and it's fun. Turn-based combat where you're a like robot pirate.
Yeah.
It's real fun. I very much enjoyed that game. It's one I want to get back to.
Just the right amount of turn-basedness,
I agree.
too. Like, it's not super slow. Like, I feel like I slog. Like, playing like a game like the old Final Fantasy games, I feel like slog a little bit because like when you get to combat, like sure it's fun, but it's just so slow and every step. And this one you just like aim your weapon, which is kind of cool that you still do aim your weapon and are able to shoot off
bounce
walls
things
and
and
bounce things. So that's neat. And there's still like a not real time, but a sort of real time element to it, and the fact that you.
I think it's very enjoyable. I like it. Have you played it, Adam?
Not yet. I've just
You
played
should.
SteamWorld Dig 2.
You probably have it on the PC. It's really good.
I know I do.
Yeah, it's worth playing.
So,
It's fun.
anything else?
No.
No? All right. So what do I do now? Oh, this is where I say if you listen to us on iTunes, you should rate us, review us, and like us. And
You
stuff
should.
and things, and subscribe to us.
It makes
That
me
helps.
happy.
Yeah. Is this where we thank our patrons?
It is where we thank our patrons. And all you wonderful patrons, your Patreon stuff will be going out probably Thursday. We've got it all together.
So
Just
the
need
day that this goes live.
The day that this goes live. Although
For everybody, but
because
if
you're patrons, you can actually listen to it today.
Oh, okay.
So if I don't have your address, I need that. I'll hit everyone up on Patreon, but
post it on Facebook for everybody to see.
Don't do that. DM me. It'll be cool. But anyways, we would like to thank Alan. We still don't know how to say his last name. Schulte? Whatever.
Let's go Alan Schulte. Every week we should change his last name.
We totally should. Thank you, Alan. You're amazing. Vinny Champa.
Scaludi?
No.
Sclooty. Schluty.
See, now I'm more hearing about Vinny's. Is Champa, right? Champa?
Champa. More like Champa.
Oh, Vinny Champa.
Vinny Champa.
That doesn't matter how we say what his actual last name is from now on as Vinny Champa. Joe Cole Jr. and Kevin Schold round out our production level Patreons.
Now, Joe Cole Jr., that's
Joe Coleslaw.
Okay, so I'd like to know, question for Joe Coleslaw, do you actually like coleslaw?
That's a very good question.
Yeah.
I do.
You go. And if you do, how, I need to know whether you like it or not first.
I don't like coleslaw.
I'm not a huge fan.
Our IT guy in our office makes a really good coleslaw.
Interesting.
I can't.
It's like the only.
I can't follow that up with what I want to say.
No.
Nope.
It's good.
I've had some good coleslaws, and then I've had some just really bland coleslaws that don't really matter.
I'm not a fan.
I've had some questionable coleslaws named Joe because he asks us questions.
You could put some on like a nice pulled pork sandwich.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. Mm-hmm. I don't like coleslaw. Typically, I like the coleslaw that my mom made when we were growing up.
My mom makes the best coleslaw.
Well, my mom makes the best coleslaw.
My mom's is better.
Well, I think our
my mom will fight your mom.
My mom doesn't make coleslaw, so the only way to settle this is both your moms need to make coleslaw, and I will be the decider.
But
your mom will be the decider.
Whatever. I'll like which one I dislike least.
My mom will beat you in a thumb war.
Does she have like 3 of them?
Yes, I've met her. She has 3 thumbs.
Awesome.
Anyway.
3 thumbs.
That was a tangent. All right. Yeah. And if you want to become a patron, just go to patreon.com/ByteMePodcast.
Please do.
Yeah. 4 different levels of support?
5.
Okay.
A handful.
400
Starting
different levels of support.
Starting as $1, and we appreciate every dollar.
Heck yeah. Cool. So yeah, do that. Also, don't forget, we are a Humble Bundle partner. If you go to bytemepodcast.com/humble, you can check out all the newest, latest, and greatest Humble Bundle deals. And you can also sign up for the Humble Bundle monthly, which is always a great freaking deal.
It is. The DRM free sale on Humble right now is very good. Ooh. A lot of good stuff on there.
Good to know. And you can find all that stuff on our website, bytemepodcast.com/humble. Pick a charity to help out, help us out a little bit, and help us get to E3 or get tattoos.
Or both.
I mean...
Whatever.
Oh, and speaking of tattoos, before we get into the news...
we need to talk about tattoos. How did we not do this?
You know more about this, obviously, because you posted the story, but it's so cool.
Dylan's friend, Thomas...
Yes.
And listener of the show, Josh.
And his buddy. Dustin.
I don't know his real name. Bro Rex. So Bro Rex, Shadow, and Tommy 2 Inches.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
All met because of this show. So Dylan knew Thomas, and then Josh was a listener. And him and Dylan all started playing PUBG.
Mostly PUBG and Rainbow
Little
Six.
Siege together.
Did you say Little Siege?
A little bit of Siege.
Oh, I'm like,
we played Little Siege.
They played Little Siege. It's a different game.
It's a miniature game. It's
where kids take over the play school.
Anyway, so Thomas flew down to where Josh and Dustin live
in the Arizona
over the weekend, I guess.
Desert.
And they all hung out together and played video games, and then all got matching tattoos, and they're absolutely awesome. You need go to our Facebook page and check out these tattoos. We got all 3 of them together. It's so cool. As a little bit of a teaser, this tattoo features a frying pan, and it's amazing. I love it so much.
Got it.
Anyway,
cool.
That's what we do. We create community.
We bring
really weird community,
and body art.
They're better friends than we are. That's all it means.
Right?
Well, do you have matching tattoos with your friend?
Adam and I are getting matching tattoos.
Then you're less good friends.
Are you going to get a matching tattoo?
I'll think about it.
Okay. Yeah. This probably needs to happen.
BMP. Byte Me Podcast. Each of us just get a letter. That way they're not matching. They're
on
unique.
Our foreheads.
I just have an M on me. That'll be awesome.
Right in the back.
Right in the back of my head.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah.
I'm so glad you remembered that.
Right. All right. We've got some stuff to talk about, and it all falls under the category of
news.
Mm-hmm. It's a very, very potent news today.
News!
There it is.
News.
All right. Well, if you've been waiting patiently for a Halo game, I don't know what to tell you. But if you've been waiting patiently for a Halo TV series, well...
Showtime.
Yeah. Tell me.
So, this has been kicked around for they've been talking about making a Halo movie or a Halo game or a Halo something.
And it's on Showtime. What?
Yeah, so this is going to enter production in 2019, which probably means, I guess, it'll probably start...
All page coming through the office. Hold, please. Wonder what this is.
Kyle, can you call the front desk, please? Kyle, can you call the front desk, please?
Dang it, Kyle.
I hate All Pages more than
Kyle is
anything.
never where he needs to be.
All Pages into your soundproof recording studio?
So for those of you listening that you just heard that All Page.
You can turn those off, yo.
Yeah, but I also kind of need to hear them sometimes.
Because he is in a soundproof office.
It's
a weird conundrum.
Yeah, I'll be in my studio. I'll have my mic on, recording a spot, recording clients in here, whatever. Boop, here comes the phone, All Page, and we've got this weird digital system with this weird, stupid delay, so it beeps.
It's so long.
There's a 5-second delay, and then whoever decides to make the page comes on and says something absolutely stupid that I 99.9% of the time don't need to hear.
I don't think it rings in our office. I think we all turned it off in our office.
Well, I usually wait for somebody to say so-and-so. As soon as I hear the name they're calling, boop, I'm done. But I wanted to hear what that was about.
Yeah,
so our listeners could know the struggle.
The struggle is real.
It's real.
I like it when it just beeps and then there's like kind of like crunchy noise and then it just stops.
Like someone is eating chips while they recorded it.
And they're like, oh, never mind.
Yeah. Ugh. Anyway.
Cheetos are gone.
Back to the news. Halo coming to Showtime. We're going into production 2019.
Yeah, and so I would assume it'll probably air back half of 2019. Would make sense to me. But yeah, no, this is a pretty big deal. You know, it's Microsoft 343 working together with Steven Spielberg's Amblin Television.
Okay.
It's going to, it's got some real people attached to it this time. So
not digital people,
but
like
they've been talking about making a Halo game since
a Halo movie or show,
something, a Halo movie, Halo TV show, whatever, since like 2013. So the fact that it finally all came together, the only thing left to figure out is if it'll be any good, which is
up for debate.
I remember a time whenever Steven Spielberg attached his name to something, it was it was amazing.
Yeah, not so much.
And I don't feel as though that's been the case the last number of...
No, he makes good things, but not great things.
Yeah,
so
I miss the great things.
I think what baffles me most is how Halo has been around so long and so little things like that have been made.
Yeah.
Like, it almost feels like it's too late. Like,
right.
Halo is not as hot as it was.
I mean, if they can, I guess the interesting thing will be is if they can tie this to the release of Halo 6.
Right.
If they can
and
build
Halo
some
6
buzz,
be good.
or exactly. Or if they can use this as the buzz build up to Halo 6.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing about Halo that's kind of strange is there is an entire lore that most people don't know because it's all in their books.
Right.
And apparently the Halo books are great.
They're good books.
So
it's just weird. I'm pretty sure a movie has come and went and fizzled out, and they've tried to do stuff for like 18 years.
I guess when you think about it, when Rampage launched for a while, and I don't know if it's true, but for a while Rampage was the highest rated video game movie ever made. With like a 53 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Are we talking about this new Rampage with The Rock?
Yeah.
Did either of you see it?
No, I kind of want to. I'll probably catch it on video.
So much fun.
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous.
Yeah, it looked good.
It's a ridiculous movie based on a ridiculous premise for a ridiculous video game.
I saw the trailer for it.
That's why it worked, because they
right.
didn't try and take a Tomb Raider and make it into this believable
serious,
kind of thing.
Like dramatic.
It was
thriller.
So much fun.
I watched the trailer for it and got probably 45 seconds into a 2-minute trailer before I went, oh, right, this is based on a video game.
Yeah.
So I want to see it. I do. But, so what I'm saying, guys, is the bar to being a good video game movie or TV show or whatever is really low.
Terribly, terribly low.
Yeah. I mean, Castlevania was pretty good, though. So.
Oh, the anime on Netflix?
Yeah,
it's really good, but I don't know if that shares a whole lot of anything.
The
names of the characters.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
All right, so there's that. Up next, Fallout 76, if you were curious to know, it has fast travel, and interestingly, players under level 5 cannot die in PvP.
Which is cool.
That's cool, because that's one of my struggles playing like multiplayer games is like, well, I'm only level 2, but that person thing over there is level 46 and just looks at me and I die.
The more and more I hear about this game, like, going into E3, I had a lot of questions. I was really apprehensive as to whether this is a game I was even going to play or not, because I just didn't like the buzz around it. And then they answered so many questions at E3. I'm like, okay, I'm kind of in the game. And then last week we talked about them not like the nuclear bombs weren't a big deal. Like, you're not just gonna be throwing nukes all over willy-nilly. That made me feel even better. And this is just
nuclear
another thing.
Combat.
Yeah, exactly.
Nuclear willy-nilly.
Nuclear willy-nilly. This makes me feel even better.
That used to be like a fast food joint or something.
My nuclear willy.
Yeah, so the good news is that not only can you not die in PvP under level 5, that PvP is entirely optional. So if you don't want to fight other players, you don't have to. So you can just turn that off. If
you
just
can
want
actually turn off the whole PvP interaction.
Yep.
So what does that do then for other people in the game? Do you just disappear?
No, you'll still be there. Usually they do it on a server by server basis. So my assumption is they'll have PvP servers and non-PvP servers, or PvP servers or non-PvP servers with PvP areas, something like that. So there's a lot of ways that MMOs do it. So
then, if you wanted to not PvP, if they do the PvP area and non-PvP areas within the same server,
you just stay out of those areas.
Do you just have to go make a conscious decision to not go in there?
I think so.
Will you?
Or maybe they're instanced. A lot of time it's like you transport into that instance.
Okay.
So,
cool.
But the nice thing too is they said how huge this is, and you're playing Fallout 4. You know how
Fallout 4 is massive.
Yeah, and this is 4 times bigger.
That's insane.
So fast travel is super, super, super important when you don't have...
Yeah, because there's no mounts or vehicles.
Yeah.
At least that's what is as of right now.
Right now. It could change. So anyway, the more I hear about this game, the more hyped I'm for it. It's going to be I was going to say my next big purchase, but that'll be Red Dead. So
my next big purchase is going to be Spider-Man.
I'll probably rent Spider-Man. It looks good, but I don't know. We'll see. So rent Spider-Man, buy Red Dead.
Fan.
Hope... doing the things that a Spider-Man can. Anyway,
Spider-Man, Spider-Pig, Spider-Pig, Spider-Pig.
I want to finish Red Dead, and then we'll start playing this. It's good. It comes out 2 days before my birthday. Happy birthday to me.
Happy birthday to you.
The movie's so good.
It is.
So, Dylan, you've not played any Fortnite lately?
Not a whole lot, no.
Fork knife.
So, So Fortnite now has at least 3 cracks in reality, and they're growing.
I also have some cracks in my reality, and I think they're also growing.
Yeah, well, I have cracks in my reality whenever I go to work.
Anyway, there was a huge event, 10:30 on Saturday, I want to say, where there was a giant rocket that got launched, and it went into the sky and slammed into
the
reality, I guess.
That's awesome.
And put 3 giant holes in it. As a sub-story to that story, a new guy owns the record for most kills in a game, because as everybody was watching this giant rocket,
he just went
behind and shot a bunch of people in the head. The record now is 43 kills in a single game.
Nice.
Wow.
So whatever.
Good for him.
But there's a big crack in reality. So again, nobody knows what it's going to be, but I just love that Fortnite is. Fortnite shouldn't have a story, Fortnite should just be that game where you go in and you kill a bunch of people and you win or you lose and then you load another game. But the fact that Fortnite is able to create a story and a community and whatever around a battle royale game is increasingly what separates it from its competitors.
Well, it's kind of the same with Overwatch. Overwatch, you don't need a story. You don't need a story.
There is one.
But there is one, and it's evidently really, really deep, and there's a whole lot going on there.
There's comics and there's animation things. Those are called cartoons, I guess.
Right. Well, it goes back to when we talked to or listened to, what's his name? The Borderlands.
Writer. Anthony
Birch.
Yes.
That dude.
Where he's talking about the difference between story and plot.
Yep.
Plot is what happens in the game. Story is everything else. And these games are so rich with story.
There is
it's
no
not
plot.
a storyline. There's no plot, but there's so much atmosphere. The characters are rich. The environments are rich. There's characteristics to the trees even in Fortnite. It's just that quirky aesthetic. It's all this world building stuff that tells a story, but there's actually no real story at all. So
I love it. I think even as someone who doesn't play Fortnite really at all. Like, I love that it has these things. I think
it's
great.
Just a lot of fun, even if I'm not playing it as often as I used to.
It's so, like, it almost lets you keep up with something. Like, it makes you feel a part of that game, even though you're not a part of that game. I think it's really cool. It's so smart. It's so smart.
I do want to jump back in just because they've done so. Like, I played it literally when they were like, hey, here's this free Battle Royale thing that we're going to try on the PS4.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't understand the controls. This is really wackadoodle crazy, because at the time I was really into PUBG.
Yeah.
But now that I'm kind of removed from the PUBG thing, I might jump back in.
Well, and they're working on that Playgrounds update
as of
too.
right
which
now, Playground was back.
It is up, yeah, because it's been up and down and up and down and up and down. So I think that'd be really fun to hop into that and do. Yeah, we should just get us and someone else and hop
Friends?
in for a night. Yeah, we got friends.
Ooh, speaking of Overwatch,
Yeah,
look at that. Overwatch has a new hero. Wrecking Ball is here, and Overwatch is Hero 28 as Overwatch is Hero 28.
Yeah.
He's there's 28 different heroes to play now?
now.
yes,
Wow.
Along with Hammond makes 28.
he is absolutely adorable. He's literally a hamster inside a giant mech,
Oh my god, that's so cool.
And then it turns into a ball.
and he can roll around in it.
And then
probably
grappling
wrecks
hook
things.
onto things and then swing himself around like a wrecking ball.
It's absolutely incredible. I can't imagine balancing in a giant hamster wrecking ball.
Right.
Like, it must have been crazy. But this is live in the PTR right now, so you can go check it out. And I just can't get over how cute it is. It's absolutely ridiculous that you've got 27 effectively humanoid characters, except for what's his name, the robot. So I guess he's a robot. Bastion.
And Torbjorn's pretty small, but
But still a human.
he's still a human-ish.
And then we're
then
like,
Gerbil.
I don't know. Next thing, yeah, Gerbil.
Well, you have a giant monkey,
That's true. Yeah, I guess there's.
but he's mostly humanoid.
Mostly human. But I just love that. But he's got a backstory of like having fought in the Junkertown Wars and, just all this. It's absolutely insane. But again, this is what pulls these story together. It's what creates the meta. It's what creates people's interest in these games and drives
There's going to
them.
be a Hammond main now just
Oh my
because he's
God,
cute.
Unfortunately, like, when I pick Overwatch characters, it's pretty much based on.
You're like, I don't know what their abilities are or what they're good at. I just think they're cute.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun, though. I haven't jumped in to try to play him, but he is a very mobile tank, and he's like the tankiest of tanks.
He's an actual literal
with,
tank.
I think, 600 health, 500, 600 health, which is more than most all the other characters. So
I love it.
Now all I've got stuck in my
Absolutely
head is
love it.
that Miley Cyrus song. That would have been great if they could have bought the rights, paid for licensing
And had
for
it
that
sung
song
by a hamster?
and used it somehow in like his origin story or whatever.
That'd be great.
That would
Do it
have been
in
fantastic.
Super
chipmunk voice.
Oh God, that'd be amazing. I'm down.
Oh,
I
that's
guarantee
cool.
you that the Chipmunks have covered Wrecking Ball. We can make that a thing.
God, I hope they haven't.
I bet you because like the Chipmunks, when they released all those movies, they did a ton of cover stuff. I bet that's one of them.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to edit a fan video of this. It's going to be great.
Oh my. All right, if you're working on putting together a gaming PC or looking to upgrade your graphics card, you might want to hang on just a little bit because there might be a big drop in graphics card prices next month. Rumor has it graphics card pricing could drop around 20% in the next month or so. Why would it drop that much? Is it just time for the new?
Well, I think two things. Like to me, this is like it's a kind of a perfect storm. Is that Bitcoin has. Prices are really down. Like Bitcoin's trading at like $6,000 now, down from a high of down from a high of 20,000. Yeah, and so it's getting to the point where like small time Bitcoin farmers, it's just not worth it anymore. You still have big, large scale operations, but none of the small ones, and so Bitcoin isn't driving up the price.
The mines are drying up.
Exactly. The Bitcoin mining isn't driving up the prices of GPUs anymore, but also. NVIDIA is very quickly going to be releasing their next iteration of graphics cards. So they're trying to push out inventory that they have in order to make room for new things coming in. So, and this is according to, who was it? I don't remember. Digitimes, that apparently have sources within the upstream into that industry. Mm-hmm. So hopefully it'd be real nice to be able to see some of these cards, because I know a lot of people have been waiting for literally 6-9 months to buy a video card and just weren't willing to pay,
So and then
$1,500 for a 1080.
When Bitcoin hit like that $20,000, thing, everybody's like, oh crap, we need to do this more. We need to mine more.
Yep.
So like prices just.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
The Bitcoin miners were literally buying every single card on the market.
That's insane.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Y'all could have just bought Bitcoin when it was 5 cents a pop like 10 years ago. Duh.
We have a coworker that did. Drives me nuts. Oh, we'll tell you that story later.
Oh, wait,
yeah.
is it the guy at night?
No, she's gone.
She doesn't work here anymore. But
Aw.
no,
I need to find her and marry her.
Yeah,
I'm going to
her
hold
Bitcoin.
I'm going to hold him to that.
Yeah.
Oh no! Is that who I think it is?
Yes, it is.
Oh nope! I take it back. I am not interested. I am not. Nope. I'm big fat. I'm gonna nope on out of here
I
now.
wonder what she ever did with it though, because she came in asking if she should sell.
Yeah, and I'm like, sell. She's like,
Oh,
I think I might diversify and put it into Ethereum. I'm like, sell.
Oh my
sell.
God. Okay, yeah.
But the worst is it kept going up after that.
Yeah.
So like, what? I think she bought in for.
She bought.
In for like $600 or
No,
she bought it at $60 a pop,
or $200 a pop. She
It
had
doesn't
like
matter.
15 Bitcoin,
and then it
at
had
like
turned
$2
into
a pop.
60,000 when she talked to you.
No, it was like I think it was like 180,000 or
She
something.
had, I think.
It was an
Welcome to the Financial Times
astronomical amount of money.
podcast.
Yeah,
Because she had 10. She had 10 coin.
yeah,
I think.
yeah.
That's all I
And
want.
that's, it was like,
6,000, but she had bought it at like.
but it was when it was
$60
worth
or
like
$5.
15, I think.
Oh,
yeah, it was a
man.
ton of money.
That's yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Okay, where were we? Oh, yeah. All right. Finally, Google is reportedly making its own gaming console, according to a new report. And this kind of goes along the lines of everything you've been saying since we basically started the podcast, where you think gaming is going, where it's clearly starting to go already.
Yeah.
But this could be the first legit mass appeal,
Yeah.
affordable entry into streaming services.
So the way
games.
I look at Google making a new console is it can go one of two ways.
Right.
One way is they're going to make something awful, and it's going to be, you know how you have an Apple TV or you have a Fire Stick box or whatever, and like, hey, those can play Android games off of the Android store, and all you got to do is buy like a $60 controller so you can buy crappy Android games off the Play Store.
Awesome, right?
That's one possibility in this. And I suppose there's always another possibility where they make something that's just garbage. They make the next Atari VTS or whatever it's called, and it's just bad. But then there's always a possibility that and what they're saying is they want to make an Xbox PS4 competitor. And if they could do that, and if they could get enough, and they're talking about shopping for actual companies too. Like, so they invest the money to make a console that can stream video games, and then they invest in a couple of first-party studios. They own them, they make their own games, and then they pay a bunch of other third-party studios to let them license their game and stream them. This could be huge. They already have, Google has a monster server farm that they could use to run these games and to push them to people. They've got servers all over the country, so you don't have to worry about the servers being too far away from you. They have the infrastructure to do this, and they're sitting on, the market cap of Alphabet right now is like $750 billion.
That's insane.
Gosh.
Again, I just want a little bit of
Just
that
a little
money.
bit. One of those billions. We could split one of those billions.
Just want one of those.
I'll take like $20. Buy some new socks and I'll be stoked.
It'll be fine. But they have the money, they have the market cap, they have the technology, they have the people to do something really, really cool with this. The only question is if they have like the ability, if they have the vision, if they have
because they've got all the physical
Do they
stuff.
have the eccentric man to be the lead of this?
Yeah, because what I don't want to see Google be like, all right, here's this thing. Oh, that didn't work like any
Steam.
number of our chat apps or messaging apps. When at one time Google had 5 different messaging apps,
or Wave,
and then there's they've just got so many different things that it's like,
I don't want to see this even
Pick a
more
struggle and
specifically
keep on
turn
going.
into Steam boxes. I don't want them to make this
Right.
big run up to like, here's this thing.
It's
Bleh.
just a PC.
And it's just a PC, and if this is just a PC that has a video game infrastructure behind it, great. But those games have to be good too. Those have to be games I want to play. Not what's the streaming service? Jump to it or Jump? I don't know. I see it come up every once in a while.
Is
where
it the indie game service? It's
that like subscription.
$15 a month?
Yeah. And I'm like, that's really cool, but I don't want to play any of those games. It's not $15 a month, and so this has to come in at a price that I can afford, which probably can't be more than.
Like for the box itself?
Well, the box itself, I think, has to be cheap if you're paying a subscription.
I think
the box is $100, $150, and then
the most at the high end.
And then, but if it comes with controllers and whatever.
Right. Well, because you got to think that right now you can get
Xbox controller into it. Come on.
Yeah, but you got to think right now you can get an Xbox One S for $200. You can get a 3DS or a 2DS for well under $200. You can find stuff.
But if they also can give me the promise that this isn't going to be generational, I'm not going to have to buy a new one of these in 2020 when I have to buy a new Xbox and a new PS4, 5, whatever. But so they hit $100, $150, and then the subscription's like $20 a month.
I think they need to hit the Netflix area. I think they need to
15.
find. Yeah, somewhere between like $8 and $15 a month.
Yeah.
Maybe have different tiers, different.
Yeah, I could see that.
Something.
But I think what they have to not do is
be willing to play ad-supported games or something, or watch a commercial for a Twitch stream or something.
I don't think the one thing I can't see them doing. I hope they don't do is try and do tiers based on amount of playtime though.
No,
because
that's the one thing that's turned me off to the GeForce Now.
Yep, is that you buy time.
I really want to play that, but it's not. And also, but the way you put it to me, realistically thinking, like, oh, I just paid for 20 hours of game time, and when you sit down and think about it, am I really going to play 20 hours a month? Probably not. But it goes to that whole idea of like that's why there's so many different unlimited plans to choose from now on your cell phone because you like the idea of not being limited to anything.
I tell my kid all the time, like, man, trust me, when I was a kid, like, internet came in hours. Like, my first internet subscription, I got 5 hours of internet a month.
I can't imagine.
It's crazy. And so I hope that they don't go that way. I think it's got to, I could see saying, hey, you can only play at 720 versus 1080 versus 4K.
Right.
Like, that's fine.
Yeah.
I get that.
Throttle the quality, throttle the bandwidth, something, that makes you want to pay more but doesn't necessarily detract from the actual service itself.
It'd be super interesting to see what they do with this. When I posted it on Facebook, it was kind of a like, oh, hey, this is cool, or like, this is going to be real bad. I'm cautiously optimistic at this point. So we'll see.
Should be fun.
Yeah.
What is it called? Yeti? Is that the thing?
Oh, I don't know if it has a name yet. Does it?
So as of right now, it's codenamed. Yeah. Well, they were working on developing their own game streaming service codenamed Yeti.
Interesting.
So
Perfect.
it could be.
It'll be a giant, hairy Bigfoot man.
Oh, me. Okay. Anyway, there's all your news that we need to worry about this week.
Fit to news.
All right, time for questions. If you have questions for us, you can always send them in on our website at bytemepodcast.com. Drop into our Discord, which is probably the most effective way to get your game questions or whatever questions.
I make a call from every week.
I've seen some of the questions in there. Y'all.
They don't have to do with games.
Nope. They clearly do not.
That's okay. We'll answer all your questions.
Yeah, they're fun. But yeah, so get on Discord and have a lively chat with the group.
We got our first email question this week. I know.
Is it in here?
It is.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
All right, we got questions from Colby, from Jacob, Joe Coleslaw, Josh, Jjames, Mansocks. But first, his last name is Champa.
Hey, yo, Vinny.
Vinny what?
Jump.
Poor Vinny.
That's ridiculous. Vinny wants to know, if you were to take a current game or franchise and turn it into a retro style, like 18 or 16-bit game, what would it be? And how would it benefit from the retro style?
I don't know if any games really benefit from taking them backwards in style.
Yeah, I don't know if they benefit, but
I think you could do interesting things with it, though.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to play, as much as it's a gorgeous current-gen game, I think you could make a really cool Ori Metroidvania, like 16-bit. I think I'd need at least 16 bits.
Yeah.
But that could be a lot of fun. I could see a 16-bit.
Stop stealing my answers.
Sorry, man.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, it's all right.
I don't know. I'd like to see maybe a Tomb Raider game, or like Tomb Raider or Uncharted or even The Last of Us, something like that. Something that's
in like Pitfall style?
Yeah, but Pitfall style. This massive, like, sprawling 3D crazy intense action
but not
adventure.
3D anymore.
Exactly, and then just break it down to its bare bones essentials.
That'd be
just
fun.
Like almost taking a Tomb Raider game or an Uncharted and putting it into a castle, like a Super Castlevania 4.
That'd be cool. It'd make it kind of a platformy Metroidvania.
Yeah.
I think all of those would make cool Metroidvania games. Like I would play a Tomb Raider Metroidvania, or maybe all I want to play is 16-bit Metroidvania games.
Yeah, maybe you just want Metroidvania.
I like those games a lot, man.
They're fun.
I do.
I like them. Dylan, is there anything you would...
What comes to mind is if you've played South Park: The Stick of Truth when you go to Canada.
Dang, that's good.
Yeah. So I just want like South Park Canada.
I am 100% behind that.
A 16-bit South Park game that could be some sort of platform or something.
I think that's
I feel like that's a $1 million idea that they haven't tapped into. Like they were like, "Oh, here's a cool idea."
It's a little segment, but like just make that a game.
Like
Canada is so much fun too.
Yeah.
So ridiculous.
I'm going to Canada next weekend. It'll be a different Canada, I think.
Let me know if everybody's heads are detachable and look like they're made out of blocks.
Hey, screw you, buddy.
I would like to play like a Link to the Past style version of Skyrim, like so a real time action game, but like Skyrim in that world. Like that'd be really fun. Like a really deep RPG, but in Link to the Past. I think it'd be good. I like it.
Play that. All right. Well, thank you for that, Vinny.
Thanks, Vinny.
Up next, Colby.
This is real long. This is like a paragraph.
Yeah, so I'm just going to try and hit the big points here. Without games as a service or loot boxes, is the current marketplace for AAA games sustainable? Games have dropped in price, like adjusted for inflation over the last 20 years. So even though you're selling more units, without things like loot boxes or people willing to pay for DLC, what's going to happen? Because technically games really are cheaper, especially when you look at the amount of people developing games now.
Yeah, it costs sometimes hundreds of millions of dollars to make a video game now.
Right. So, or is it going to not matter in the long run because despite people bitching about all this stuff, people aren't voting with their wallets?
Yeah, which is really true. I think it's a really good question. And I don't know if any of us really know the answer exactly, but my gut tells me that making, you keep hearing about the death of single player video games. Mm-hmm. And I think there's a reality to that developers need those long tail Destiny style games in order to spend that kind of money. You look at a game like God of War, great game, probably cost a significant amount of money to develop,
right?
Probably profitable, but is it as profitable as a Destiny or a one of those other kind of games that have that long tail? It's sold well, but well is like 4 or 5 million copies,
like in its first couple of weeks.
But I think it had a pretty short tail. I mean, maybe not. Who knows? And so I just wonder if the reason you're starting to see more games like Anthem coming out and more games like Fallout 76 coming out is because they just need those. They need those or they see a game like Fortnite, which is making $150 million a month in
so insane
hats. Or I mean, Counter-Strike, which made millions of dollars in hats, literal hats.
So but then it just goes to ask, do you see them doing it because they need that to be sustainable, or they want to do that because they're clearly saying that's where the money's at?
It doesn't matter because capitalism both ways, I mean, all of those companies are owned by bigger companies,
Yeah.
Bethesda is not a company. Bethesda is owned by ZeniMax. EA is a publicly traded company. Sony is a publicly traded company, and so it doesn't really, in under capitalism in a publicly traded company, your job is to make money for your investors. Right. Your ultimate job is to make money for your investors, and so if it's make a cool single player game because gamers will like that versus make money for your investors. Yeah, you're almost obligated to do the second,
right? And if they're both going to be good games, then you're going to go with the one that makes more money. Because if you make this cool passion project, hey, it's a great game, let's make another one. Okay, cool, it's a pretty good game. Oh no, our games aren't selling as much anymore. Oh, we're running out of money. Oh, we're gone. Yeah. So that is the trajectory of not doing the sustainable pocket filling.
Yep. And I wonder if what you'll see is first party studios make whatever they want. They make single player games. Right. They make whatever because they're supported by a game developer who really is just worried about selling consoles and getting the 30% they make from every game that gets sold.
Well, I think with
whereas third parties will make
right, but I think specifically speaking to the whole AAA game thing, if you look at Ninja Theory and what they did with Hellblade, they created essentially a AAA experience
in a AA cost.
In a AA cost.
Yeah. Right.
So, and they turned a profit fairly quickly on that game. Yeah. So, I mean, within a year, they turned a profit on it. So, I think it's entirely possible to build those single player experiences at the cost of.
That was actually one of my New Year's predictions. I don't know, when we did that show, was hopefully that we're going to see AA games, which are
smaller ideas
at a AAA level, but just that are 7 hours instead of.
Because games don't need to be either hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of ongoing hours, or even 40 or 50 hours, or even 30 hours. You can get an amazingly intelligent and well thought out told story with decent action or whatever, however you want to do it, in 8 to 15 hours.
Yeah. I literally am looking at games these days that come out and say, Octopath Traveler, that game came out and it's 40 to 60 hours. I'm like, nope. I mean, I'm not even going to try it because there's no way I'm putting 40 to 60 hours into that game. Right. But there isn't.
There's an example of a game by a major studio that's for them that would be considered a AAA game, I'd like to think. I'd think.
I mean, I guess, but I mean, not that it's a AAA studio, but I don't know if you can call a pixel art game of that breadth really a AAA game. I guess. I mean, I guess technically it is a AAA developer, but the cost of that game is significantly less than making Square Enix making the new Tomb Raider.
But it still proves that you can spend an insignificant amount of money compared to other games and have 100 hours worth of content.
And I think that the Switch is a really weird outlier in this whole discussion because it's just a different system. You can put different games on it that are entirely different than the AAA games that play somewhere else and make a bunch of money, especially in that kind of AA indie scene. A lot of them I read, I don't remember who it was. I wish I could remember, but they said that their game is out on the Xbox and the PS4 and the Switch is outselling the other two 4 to 1 or 5 to 1. It's just a different ecosystem, and so that's a different place.
It makes me kind of think about a game let's use Fallout 4 for an example. It's a huge game with a story that you probably could complete in how long do you think? Over
25
30
to
hours,
35,
right?
yeah.
And then there's all these side quests, right? How long does it take to do all the side quests?
Oh,
throughout a number.
Another 60 to 150 probably.
So we'll say you have, let's say 20 hours and 80 hours.
Yeah.
So 100 hours total to do the whole thing. How many players bought this game?
Yeah.
How many people bought this game? Now, how many people actually played all the side quests?
Probably none.
So all that work was unnecessary cost.
But the problem is...
Make a 20-hour game, it's going to cost 20% of the cost to develop the length of that game.
It's like a chicken and egg problem, though, because gamers are so enamored with 100 hours of gameplay, 4 times the size of Fallout 4, thousands of quests. It doesn't matter that no one's going to play all of those. It doesn't matter that 25% of people finish any given game or 35% of people finish any game. Gamers like the idea. And I think part of that's tied to gamers our age, especially. I'm pointing to Adam. When you were a kid and you were 14, oh my God.
And you had one game.
Final Fantasy VI came out, and that's good because that's the game I'm going to be playing all summer because I own one game. There's no Game Pass. There's no game with gold. There's no, PS Plus. It's that or I'm, renting a game 3 days at a time at Blockbuster.
Or going outside and playing with your friends.
Screw that.
Ew.
That's for dumb people.
Wow.
I did a lot of that.
I did too.
I did too, but it was only because I didn't have more video games.
Right. I'm like, these things are way more fun. All right. Well, thank you for that question, Colby. All right. Jacob wants to know, what is your opinion on the new WWE 2K19 game with AJ Styles as the cover and the $1 Million Challenge? Dylan, will you be entering it?
I should have given Dylan a heads up about this question first.
I did look at it. I tried to look up the challenge, and I didn't think they had the rules yet for it.
Okay.
So which made answering it kind of challenging, but... I think it's interesting when they do these challenges in sports games. I remember a long time ago they did a one for a baseball. I can't remember what the baseball series was. If it was a 2K baseball game or
RBI.
Something, whatever it was. But the first player playing the game who could pitch a perfect game got $1 million or whatever. And it's that's fun. That's interesting. I'm sure that gets a lot of people playing the game a lot.
Yep.
Because if you can be the first one, I mean, make $1 million.
Yeah, it does not look like there are rules for it yet, so we don't even know what it is yet.
I'm really just to throw my thoughts about a new 2K game, because the last one apparently kind of stunk it up, and I never really played it. So I'm hoping they can take this year and make it a little bit better. And they put the right guy on the cover this year, so that's good.
I don't even know who that is.
I don't either.
Is he a Backstreet Boy?
Yes.
Yes. It kind of looks like one, maybe.
Perfect.
I don't know. Oh, okay.
So maybe we need to check back in on the $1 million challenge.
I'm going to keep my eye on this because it's interesting. I probably won't participate because I'm just not that good. Like, I would be wasting my time because I'm not going to get lucky. Like, you can get lucky against someone. You're not going to get lucky against the world.
No.
So I probably won't try it, but if the game is better this time around, I'm gonna try to play it.
All right, well, Jacob, we'll keep that on our radar. We'll follow back up with you, man.
Was that our email question?
That was our email question.
Look at that.
Yeah.
All right, Joe Coleslaw wants to know, what do you think is the most Murica moment in a video game? Patriotic, blowing shrimp up?
I don't know what that means.
Okay.
I think it was a joke, like
fireworks.
He's being PG.
Oh,
okay.
I like that a lot now.
And shrimp, you barbecue shrimp.
You do. Barbecue simulator.
On the Barbie, you throw shrimp on the Bobby.
I would play Barbecue Simulator.
That
I think there's
sounds
a game there.
What's a game to play for the 4th of July or 5th of July? What is the 5th?
I don't know about that either.
You have an interesting way of
he's a
posing questions.
Like
Mr.
if
Slaw.
because maybe you're not playing games on the 4th of July because you're doing 4th of July stuff. So maybe you have the next day off because you party way too hard and you're like, I'm not going to work tomorrow. So you play games.
I have two answers.
I would say Far Cry 5.
That's one of my answers.
Just because
I think that's the obvious answer for right now.
It's definitely the most.
It's so great.
I will give you a second answer. Broforce.
Yes, Broforce.
I'm into
Currently on the Steam sale for like $374.
If you don't own it, it's totally worth it. You play as like legally distinguishable from Rambo and Mr. T and MacGyver, and it's
Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah, it's this crazy like game full of super amounts of like jingoistic patriotism,
machismo.
Those were big words.
Yeah, I'm full of big words.
So many syllables. What the hell?
But you're blowing stuff up and you're saving the world from terrorists.
Metal Slug would also be a fun one.
Metal Slug would be a good one. Yeah.
This is like Metal Slug, but
how about
with a bro skin?
Yeah, I like it.
Is it
Akari Warriors.
No, it's literally Metal Slug.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Broforce is really fun. I like it a lot.
I keep seeing. I know I've seen it, and I know I've come really close to playing it.
You should. It's really good. So definitely those two. But Far Cry, it's kind of a weird version of America. It's like a real.
You should also play Big Game Hunter, Big Buck Hunter.
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
Or that hunting game that was made by who made that cool hunting game?
Cabela's?
No, Avalanche made that cool. It's in Game Pass right now, and I don't remember what it's called. But Avalanche, the folks that made like Mad Max and are making Rage 2.
What? They made a hunting game
that apparently is absolutely gorgeous. My brother played it.
Wait, is that the one that we talked about not too long ago?
Like probably 5 episodes ago, 6 episodes ago.
Yeah, where you literally have to track them and you follow footprints in the ground. Yeah. I remember that.
I don't remember what it's called,
Is that on Game Pass now?
Yeah, it is.
Ooh, I want to play that because it looked awesome.
Yeah, that'd be my
America games for you? Murica games for you, John?
America.
Yeah?
I think
it's called The Hunter.
Okay. And it's on Game Pass.
Yeah.
I'm going to check it out.
Do it. I think we nailed it. It's good.
Yeah, covered?
Good.
Cool. There you go. Let us know what you play, Joe. I'd be curious to find out. Josh wants to know, since Tabletop Simulator is a thing for this podcast and friends, yes, I made that a thing.
So Tabletop Simulator, if you're not familiar, is a game that essentially lets you play multiplayer tabletop games online with friends, and like they have add-ons. So, but I think by default you're like, you can play checkers and chess, but there's add-ons that let you play like Monopoly,
literally any board game.
Almost any board game, and a lot of like kind of complicated, like like board games, Settlers of Catan, and even more complicated than that, like Risk. Yeah. And so I picked it up yesterday for $10, and we're going to try and do like a once monthly game night where we play some sort of game.
Okay.
So,
well, he wants to know, what game are we going to play first? What border card game sounds best?
So the thing I'll tell you about playing games with me is that I'm a rules Nazi. And so people hate playing games with me. I probably should warn you about that before I said, we can do this. So choose a game with very few rules that are very uncomplicated, because otherwise you'll hate everything about playing games with me.
Yeah. Games have rules for a reason.
Oh, and I hate Monopoly.
You should play the new Monopoly because they made it a rule that you're allowed to cheat as long as you don't get caught.
Oh, see, that's great.
Like they actually, because they know so many people cheat at the game, so they made an edition of Monopoly that says, just like play the game and like you can cheat as long as no one notices you.
But
cheating.
what happens if you cheat?
I don't. You can just slap on the wrist.
Like, I guess I could see like some of those Monopolies have like house rules too. Like,
right.
But I find
it's one of those games where it's like you may. Here's what we suggest you do, but then we know you're going to do what you want to do. So
but
make
that's
your
the
own
problem I
stuff
have.
up.
Like Monopoly to me is you got to. Like either the rules have to be very clearly defined what rules you're breaking, or you've got to play by the rules.
Right.
Which is again, people. It's, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay. So is this a question for you?
I think so, but
Okay.
I don't know what the answer is. We'll figure it out. But anyways,
Play
we're
Magic
gonna
the Gathering.
sure. Anyway, it's on sale for $10 right now. I don't know when the Steam sale ends. I'm not sure.
I think it ends the 5th.
Is it the 5th? I think it's the 5th.
So tomorrow. So sorry guys, it ended yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Well, it ends the day this goes live.
Oh right.
Yes.
Yeah. So maybe you can still pick it up. Either way, I grabbed it. I guess if you already own it, don't you?
I don't, because I just
do it, man.
It frustrates me that I can't get people to play Overwatch, but I can get them to play gosh darn Monopoly on the computer, and that's frustrating to me.
Maybe Overwatch needs a better community.
Oh my.
Anyway, to James.
All right. Thank you, Josh. James wants to know if any one of you three gets sick of podcasting, are y'all quitting or replacing that person? And which video game character would you want to be a co-host of Byte Me?
So I think that really depends on who we get sick of and they quit. If it's Adam, no, because he's the only one here that has a studio.
Yeah, and the next, like, if I end up either quitting and or dying,
yeah.
The next guy that comes in here might not be cool.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
might be 90 and an old curmudgeon.
Yeah, and like the reality is Adam does the podcast and it takes him like, I don't know, 20 or 30 minutes or 10 minutes.
It's usually done within about 8 minutes of us finishing recording. I just forget to let you know that it's done for
which is fine.
an hour.
It takes me like an hour and a half to do it. So I don't need to spend more time editing the podcast than I do actually making it. So if Adam is the one to go, no, the podcast is over.
Yeah,
sorry. I think if one of us quit, we'd probably still find a way to do it. I don't know how, but we'd probably figure that out. If me or Dylan like gets hit by a bus or something, I'm sure they'll just bring someone else in. It'll be fine.
Well, and that goes to our next question. The same part of the question. Second part of the same question. Sure.
Ooh, which video game character?
Yeah, which video game character would we want to co-host the show with? I mean, Dylan and I can always go to our old standbys.
Yeah.
But that would be boring.
I don't want to be on a podcast with Kratos.
Nor Duke Nukem.
Or Duke Nukem.
Boy.
Yeah, exactly.
Boy, come here.
Yeah, I don't
Read this.
I don't want to be on a podcast with either of those guys. I'm not good with that. That's a tough one. I want to replace myself with Trevor. From GTA, so you guys can have to deal with that. Is that what I can choose? Not who I want to be on a podcast with, but who I want to make you guys be on a podcast with.
I want to replace me. Yeah. Who farts a lot?
Well, you have to be really someone really tall.
Earthworm Jim? Does he fart?
I bet you he does.
He's got to be gassy.
Either Earthworm Jim or it's Earthworm Jim. I'm pretty sure there's a.
What about the frogs? What's the frog game? Battletoads? Replace him with a Battletoad?
Yeah.
Or like one of the Master Chiefs, because the Master Chiefs are also super tall. I don't know if they're super tall people or they're super tall inside their suits, but they're like Dylan's height, so that would make sense. And if I was going to replace Adam with someone who knows how to edit audio,
yeah, I'm trying to I was trying to run through every game in my head to like what game has some guy that does audio things?
Audio engineering.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, that's not a game that not like a game persona that happens a lot.
Right.
That guy who is a superhero and also does a lot.
Maybe the guy from Watch Dogs, because he can hack
there's,
stuff,
like,
so he's
hackers.
he probably knows something.
That's fair. Yeah,
He'll probably figure it out.
Just to annoy the crap out of you both, I would want to replace me with Pikachu. Because
Pikachu.
all podcast long, all he says
it's
is
like Groot.
Yeah.
God, that'd be amazing. Love it.
Oh, that'd be good. Yeah, did we cover everything?
I think that's pretty good.
I like it.
All right, thank you.
No,
James.
wait.
What?
Link. He just doesn't talk.
Yeah.
Oh God.
He just sits there.
Or we could get Princess Zelda from Breath of the Wild with that horrible, weird, whatever accent wherever she's from thing.
Love it.
It's terrible. Yes, basically any voice actor from Breath of the Wild, because all the voice acting's just garbage.
So if you could replace yourself with another podcaster, who would you choose?
Another podcaster?
Wait, I got one.
Oh.
Vinny Cannoli from Guns, Gore, and Cannoli. Because he'd basically just be...
He'd be able to do the Vinny part.
Yeah, he'd be like impersonating me, but it'd be his real voice.
What favorite podcaster of mine?
Yeah.
I would want Georgia Hardstark from My Favorite Murder because she's got this awesome vocal fry, and like just the way she tells her stories is so good. The way she talks is so funny.
Nice.
And she's got a cat named Elvis.
Oh, that's amazing.
And at the end of her podcast, Elvis, want a cookie? And you have this cat just go. Meow. It's this loud, terrible cat.
I love it.
But she's
it.
awesome. That show, I've talked about it before a million times. But yeah, I'd love Karen and Georgia to host our podcast.
Do they know anything about video games, you think?
Probably not. Absolutely not. I know they don't. That would be hilarious. I'm going to go see them live in October in Portland.
Oh, that's very exciting.
Very excited. All right. Mansocks wants to know. Oh, thank you, Jjames. Mansocks wants to know, what is your favorite sci-fi movie?
Sci-fi.
Probably
Star Trek
Star
4.
Wars.
No, I'm kidding.
No. Probably
That's the one with
Star
the
Wars. Just all of them.
Okay.
I mean, although Star Wars is not like traditional sci-fi, so I don't know. Well, Star Wars is often like it's almost more of a fantasy genre than it is. I mean, it happens
it's a fantasy sci-fi western.
It happens to take place in, but it is. It takes place in space, but that's really the only sci-fi part of it. It doesn't really deal with a lot of traditional sci-fi themes. I read more sci-fi than I watch sci-fi, so
okay.
I think I'm going to have to say Star Wars. Although I really like the new Star Trek movies.
I only saw the first one. I've not seen the other two. I hear they're fun, but I hear they're just a complete departure.
They are, very much so. But I think they're really enjoyable.
I don't want to see Star Trek versus Fast and the Furious.
I like Aliens a lot.
Mm-hmm. See, Alien is probably my favorite sci-fi horror movie.
Yeah.
It was just so
and I've never seen Alien. So
the first one?
Mm-mm. Yeah.
Oh, so good. Watch it.
Yeah. Does it hold up?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Are you kidding me?
Well, I mean,
so good.
Some of those things don't. So, Dylan?
I'm really trying to think here. I don't watch a lot of sci-fi
Dylan
movies.
also says Star Wars.
It'd probably be Star Wars Episode 4.
A New
Hope.
I like the
the
original Star Wars.
Yeah. Agreed.
I'm still trying to think
Yeah.
I marked it so I could let this roll and just edit out the space. God, I'm trying to think because I've watched a lot of sci-fi.
See, I'm not a big sci-fi.
Yeah, and I haven't seen I haven't seen Blade Runner. I haven't seen a lot of those kind of traditional.
Blade Runner. I'm sorry, Blade Runner was absolute trash.
I'm pretty sure
The
that's
first
a
one,
relatively. Which this kind of depends on which version have you seen because there's like 6 different versions of that movie.
Yeah,
too.
whatever the. I don't even know. All I know it was hot garbage.
Can I say 2001?
Oh, 2001.
2001.
2001's a good choice.
Spaceballs?
I just watched Spaceballs with my kid the other day, and he thought that was the funniest movie ever made ever. He loved it.
Harder.
Do you not like Spaceballs?
I love Spaceballs.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm like, that's a great movie. Yeah.
See, your choice is as big as mine.
Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, that's sci-fi. That's good.
Yeah.
I'm looking at a list.
The new Planet of the Apes trilogy is really good.
District 9 is on this list. That was a pretty good flick.
Oh, you know what? District 9 was
I like
really
that a
good.
lot. Looper's on this list, too. I liked Looper
Looper's
a lot.
really cool.
Looper was good. I also liked Elysium.
I've not seen that.
Elysium was good.
They also have The Matrix and Avatar, and I loved both those movies.
I didn't like The Matrix.
I like the first
I
one.
like the first
Just
one.
because
I've only seen the first
I watched it way too removed from when it came out, so it doesn't hold up well.
Wall-E.
Would that be considered sci-fi?
I don't know. It's on the list.
That's Disney, bro.
Whatever. The Martian.
Interstellar.
Martian was good.
No, Patooey on The Martian. Interstellar was actually really
Martian
good.
was cool. Yeah. I wouldn't put it on the top of my list by any means, but Interstellar was great.
I didn't like The Martian mainly because I don't like anything that Mara Rooney is in.
I don't know who she is.
So she was the young astronaut scientist chick.
Oh, do you just not like her?
I don't like her as an actress. She annoys the living crap out of me.
Interesting.
When she finally eats it in House of Cards, like at the end of season 1.
Spoiler
you cheered.
alert.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, also Kevin Spacey's garbage and got fired. FYI.
Hey, that's all right.
That show's kind
But
of
yeah,
ruined.
no, I don't like her as an actress. I'm sure she's a lovely person. I can't stand her as an actress.
The Iron
Wanna stop
Giant.
her. No, I never saw it.
Oh, watch it.
Okay.
Brad Bird at his best, man.
Yeah,
That's great.
I'm going to go with Alien, final answer.
Whatever. I'm going to say Star Wars.
No, well, I was talking about mine.
Whatever.
Okay, well, there's that. Thank you. I'll make sure. Bloop. accidentally stopped recording.
Oh, like, is that the bloop where you deleted the entire podcast?
Oh, that's funny. Okay, yeah, those are all our questions. If you have questions for us, go to our Discord or bytemepodcast.com and stuff, or mail, Facebook, whatever.
We'll be there.
All right, we're about ready to wrap this up. We're going to cover some cheap free games and a troll corner.
I don't know if you know how many games Twitch is giving away. This is not going to be quick.
Well, let's make it quick because it's a holiday weekend. Our office closes, or holiday tomorrow.
We got 8 minutes.
We got 8 minutes.
Yeah, we got 8 minutes. Okay, cheap free games. Games with Gold finally is announced. They're available now. Some of them. Assault Android Cactus.
Winner for best name of game ever.
Yeah, I don't know
Assault
anything
Android
about that.
Cactus?
Yeah.
Is that the best name ever?
Yeah.
No, maybe.
Sure. That's available now through the end of the month on Xbox One. Death Squared, which is really cool.
It's really fun, and
Did you repost the
I
interview?
posted it on Facebook. Yeah, actually, we interviewed the guy who runs that studio. His name's Ashley. Talked a little bit about it. Super fun game. I bought it for the Switch. I really liked it. So totally great for free.
Cool. And that is available second half of the month all the way through the middle of next month. Virtua Fighter 5 Final Showdown. That's available now till the 15th on Xbox One and 360. Which the Virtua Fighter games when it comes to fighting games, that's one of those. That, Tekken, Street Fighter, those are the games that I always remember.
Virtua Fighter is probably the only fighting game I've ever actually beaten, and I've beaten the first and the second one.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
Pew, pew. And then available the second half of the month to the end, Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Conviction on Xbox One and 360. So
it's a great game.
Yeah.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
A couple of backwards compatible games for you.
Very cool.
Over on Steam, there is a game called The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit.
Yeah, this is actually Steam, Xbox, and PS4.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Okay. What's going on here?
So this is a free game that is by the same people who made Life is Strange, and it takes place in that same universe, but is not directly related to them. Apparently, if you've played Life is Strange, you will see some like references to it, but not directly related to them. It's short. It's like an hour and a half long.
Oh, cool.
It's supposed to be really fun, but kind of a tearjerker. So keep your Kleenex handy.
I'm already crying.
Yeah, it's about kind of a relationship between a kid and his dad, who is an alcoholic after his mom died, but he kind of retreats into kind of his own world where he is Captain Spirit and he's a superhero. So
and this is free.
It is free. It's supposed to be very good, and it kind of sets up a space in between Life is Strange and Life is Strange 2, which is coming out probably at the end of this year, I believe.
Super fun. Also, if you are a Twitch Prime member, which is if you're an Amazon Prime member, that's still included, or has it been spun off into its own thing?
It is its own thing. Or no, I'm sorry, it is still included. I apologize.
All right. Well, for the month of July, you have got 21 free PC games coming to you in the month of July.
Bizarre.
And some of these are great. Starting today, in fact.
Yeah, starting today and through...
Actually, starting yesterday. I apologize.
Oh, yeah, look at that. Yeah. Pillars of Eternity, the Definitive Edition. That is available now.
That's a big game. That's cool.
Yeah, and that's available as of the posting of this podcast. So if you're listening to this on the day it goes live for everybody,
grab it. It's only up for another
4th,
2 days.
Well, yeah, but if you're listening to this and you're not a patron, you need to grab it right then because by the end of the episode, it could be gone.
Yep.
Metal Slug 3 on the 3rd all the way through August 2nd. Last Blade is going from July 3rd to August 2nd. That was originally a Neo Geo game.
Oh, nice.
Twinkle Star Sprites, July 3rd through August 2nd. That's a 2D game, top-down view kind of thing. Dodge, shooting, blah, 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 shmup. Cube, Q-U-B-E 2. That's only on the 4th of July, 3rd and 4th of July.
Wow. Crazy.
Wow. So July 4th through the 11th is Battle Chef Brigade.
This game is supposed to be great. I've not played it, but it's on my list of games I want to try, so I'm excited that it's free now.
The 5th through the 12th, Manual Samuel.
I've played that, I think.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, it's the game. I have not played this, but I've wanted to. It's a game where you have to actually control all of this dude. Like, you have to control all of this dude, so, like, breathing.
Oh, my God.
It's supposed to be very interesting.
And breathing is involuntary, though. How do you control that?
Well, you do when you're Manual Samuel. With a button. There you go.
July 6th through the 13th is Goner. It's
that sounds awful.
procedurally generated 2D roguelike platformer. How many genres
Ridiculously-
can you throw in
Ridiculously difficult. I'm out.
Whatever. Next up, Hero, July 7th through the 14th, which I hear is great.
It is fun. I've played it. I like it a lot.
This is July 8th through the 14th, Ernog Earn Limited.
I don't know anything about that, but I like it a lot.
It's a puzzle-filled land of bombs, cubes, adorable animals, and weird people. Look at that. Hugh, July 9th through the 15th.
Which I've heard is really good. I think my brother played that.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure if you're a PS Plus member and you've been grabbing your games, you've got that.
Yep.
Also, it's in. I know I've got it on Steam.
Yeah,
a couple times. Deponia Doomsday.
Don't know about that.
Deponia.
Do you have what it takes to change the fate of Deponia? Well, find out if you're a Twitch Prime member. July 11th through the 17th, Observer, not the newspaper or the magazine. It's a game.
Yeah, this is by the same people that made Layers of Fear. Yeah. It's another horror game. It's supposed to be very, very good.
Cyberpunk
very
style.
Scary.
Yeah. A game that I know you loved and a lot of people should be playing. July 12th through the 18th, you can pick up Tacoma. It's a sci-fi themed narrative-driven adventure game from the company that made the amazing Gone Home.
I'm pretty sure this was my game of the year last year.
I'm probably
pretty sure
Tacoma. It's so
Tacoma.
good. Tacoma.
Oh, yeah.
It's not.
It's definitely Tacoma.
Takayama.
Super good game.
Takayama.
Love this game.
Okay.
Play it.
July 13th through the 26th is The Bridge. It's a 2D style game inspired by MC Escher. Pretty sure I've played this. This is the guy.
Puzzly.
Oh, yeah, I know this game. I played it. It's really, really good.
There you go.
Brutal Legend, July 14th through the 27th.
So good.
It's super fun. This is, heavy metal.
Isn't this
Jack
the
Black.
Jack Black one?
Yeah.
I wish I liked Jack Black more.
It's okay. Not everybody has to like Jack Black.
I know, but
just
I'm also,
the music and like
gross.
It's so good.
It's a great game. It really is.
The 15th through the 21st is the Red Strings Club. It's a cyberpunk adventure game. July 16th through the 18th from Obsidian Entertainment is Tyranny. It's
this
a
is
narrative-focused
cool.
RPG.
But it's a narrative-focused RPG where you play the bad guy.
Oh,
yeah.
What?
It's supposed to be real good. It's been on my list of like
where you can play the bad guy.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
You should. Every time this has been on my list on Steam for like the last 3 Steam sales, and every time I'm like, "Ooh, should I get it?" And I haven't.
Glad you didn't. All right, so there is that. The 17th through the 31st is Broken Age. It's a point-and-click adventure from the minds at Double Fine.
Yeah, this is the big... At the time that this was Kickstarted, it was the biggest Kickstarter ever for a video game anyway. Very cool.
They made so much money, they're giving it to us.
Yeah, it's really good.
From the 18th till the end of the month is the Framed Collection. You venture into an animated comic, an atomic cookbook, an animated comic book, and rearrange the panels to change the story. Oh, that sounds kind of fun.
Yeah, it does.
And finally, from the 18th through the end of the month is Serial Cleaner. You play as a cleaner for the mob.
I've heard this is good. I've heard Serial Cleaner is good.
That. That's fun. So there's all your Twitch Prime games.
That's a lot of games, man. Right? 21 games.
21, I think. I counted.
Yeah.
So if you've got Xbox Game with Gold and you grab this game and that's 26 games.
It's a lot of games.
For free.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
For frizzle.
Full frizzle, my nizzle. Okay, so are we ready to do this?
Let's just Sony.
Yeah, it's not the troll corner anymore. It's just
together.
What has Sony pulled this week?
Yeah, I just the article that I read about it was actually really good. Is that it was an IGN article called "Sony's Stubborn Stance on Crossplay is Embarrassing." And
not wrong.
What I love about this is, part of me doing the show notes every week is I just go out to a bunch of different websites and kind of try and figure out what's interesting this week, what's happening, news, that kind of thing. And I probably saw 2 or 3 different articles just saying like, Sony, come on, what are you doing? You're literally making yourself look bad. Mm-hmm. Like, this is not a good look. And I hope that we see those articles every single week until they, realize that they're losing more money than they could potentially keep.
Or they're just pissing people off.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's not good.
Like, I mean, they might not lose money. They might not see them losing money right now. But if this, image that they are starting to, help perpetuate stays out there until the next generation, people are going to remember that. And they're going to go, maybe I won't buy this new console.
Well, that's the reality is people forget that one console generation ago, Microsoft owned that console generation.
Well, owned it up until the end.
But still, they still ended up outselling the PS3.
The PS3 actually outsold it by the end of its
Did
generation.
it?
Yes.
All right. So for the majority of its generation. Right. But I think most of that's just because the Xbox 360 just kind of stopped, whereas the PS3 kept going.
Even putting them in stores.
And the Xbox launched before the PS4.
Right.
But either way, it took a couple of missteps for Microsoft to be really the loser in this generation. They did their little thing with
the whole
always on
online.
internet. They did the thing
It's always listening.
Yeah, it's always listening. They did, forced connect buying. It didn't take that much for them to all of a sudden to be the bad guy.
And it wasn't even that it wasn't even like
and none of that stuff actually
PR
happened.
Yeah, it wasn't even that it wasn't necessarily.
They were trying to be innovative and people weren't ready for it.
Yeah, that's all. They were just trying to be cool.
Yeah.
These guys, Sony's just being kind of a turd.
Yeah. And so,
just saying you can't play.
They need to get it figured out. They need to get it figured out fast. And frankly, at this point in time, I don't think figuring it out is anything but saying, yes, we'll allow it. It can't be yes, we'll allow it with conditions. It can't be you have to log into your PS4 account. Yeah, it can't be a yes, but it just can't be. There's too much bad PR.
Come on, guys.
And it needs to launch good the first time.
Well, thankfully, we've got major developers now like Epic and Bethesda publicly calling them out.
Yep. Yeah.
So,
this week,
it's starting to
Todd Howard said, we really would like crossplay.
Sony's not making it easy.
Sony's not making it easy.
Yeah. So
or
now
Sony's not the easiest to work with at this point. How would you? Do you want that? Do you want that as your PR for your company?
Sony loses their games, and then they go make games for Xbox, and then it's just a Microsoft Funhouse.
Yeah.
And I'm enjoying my Xbox so much now that I wouldn't be terribly mad if it turned to the next generation. Microsoft came back around and was like,
same.
Suck it, bitches.
Right. I don't think, they'd have to have a really, really cool game at this point for me to even want a PS5.
At the end of the day, the Xbox will be the first system I buy. I will end up with a PS5 eventually because I always do, but it will not be the first one I buy.
It's on sale for Black Friday.
Exactly. Yep.
The second year around.
Exactly.
Once they've finally gotten Last of Us 2 out.
I mean, in reality, that's probably...
That's going to be a this generation game, though.
I hope so.
I think it will be.
I hope so. All right, is that it?
That's it.
All right. If you're listening to this because you're a patron, happy 4th of July or whatever it is you celebrate on that day.
I mean,
I don't know if the 4th of July is one of those real divisive holidays.
All
right.
Might be a thing.
Yeah.
If you're blowing up fireworks or blowing up orcs. There you go.
Either do some fireworks or eat some Taco Bell. Those are your choices.
Oh, yeah. Taco Bell.
You'd have hot dog eating contests on the 4th of July and do fireworks, and it's a good time.
It's good.
I'm going to be on a rooftop with 50 other people tomorrow.
Smelly.
How does you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I know who's going. It's going to be smelly.
If 50 people are anywhere, it's smelly. I was in a hotel room with 8 people this weekend, and it was death.
Wait, you guys got one hotel room?
Yeah.
Why?
Because we weren't going to be in it. And I got a bed,
clearly.
so I didn't care. Everyone else was on the floor. So...
And there you go.
They were playing basketball all weekend.
Oh, it was terrible. I could tell you all about it, but I'm not.
Did you make your wife stay in that hotel room?
Yes, we did. Because we weren't.
Are you still married?
Yeah, it was fine. It's honestly good for a laugh at the end of it. Because you were in there to sleep.
Because what I like to do is I like to sleep in the same room as 8 other sweaty garlic and onion smugglers. Because that's what it would smell like.
It did. But, I mean, you would leave at 8 in the morning, and you would get back at midnight.
You'd think the room would have time to air out, but it didn't.
It didn't.
Oh, I opened the window, and I turned the air on.
It didn't matter, did it?
It was freezing cold. I told everyone to get their out of the room and put it in the car or put it in a bag or something, and it helped. And then I brought the leftover Thai food into the room just so the room would smell like Thai food.
Oopsie.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, God.
So, I mean, you do what you can.
Anyway, happy 4th of July. Happy Murica Day and stuff and things. Find us online, bytemepodcast.com. What?
I suppose our international listeners, they probably don't celebrate the 4th of
July.
Oh,
yeah. All you international listeners.
It's just Happy Wednesday.
It's a silly holiday where we blow up fireworks.
Yeah.
But that's basically every day in my neighborhood.
It's true.
So,
it's true.
Right?
Some of those are gunshots, Dylan.
Yeah, they were. I saw.
ByteMePodcast.com is where you can find us online and all the stuff. /Humble if you'd like to support our Humble Bundle page. If you want to become a patron, go to our Patreon. It's patreon.com/ByteMePodcast. And find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at ByteMePodcast.
And our Facebook group.
Oh, and our Facebook group, too. And Discord. We're everywhere.
Everywhere you want to be. We're just like American Express or MasterCard. I don't remember which.
American Express. It's definitely not American Express because
they're not everywhere I want to be.
You definitely can't go anywhere that doesn't make enough money to accept slightly higher service charges.
Maybe.
Whatever, it doesn't matter.
I don't really care.
We're actually none of those things.
No.
Let's go home.
Because we're not acceptable everywhere.
No. Bite me.